Love it.
Okay, so could xDAI stake be the canary network of Ethereum? Okay, not sure I quite understand the connection to. Is canary network something for blockchains like Polkadot? I feel like I've heard that term in the blockchain space, but just based purely on the tech. I mean, xDAI is legit. So if we go and pull up xDAI on Token Metrics, we think it's definitely one of the more promising projects. We do have a full code review available on the site, and we also emailed this out a while back. We're still looking into fundamentals, but from a pure tech standpoint, it's definitely a good project. We had Andy on our team share his thoughts on with our group, I think probably 2 months back on this project. Bill and Matt, any comments, or could you guys go through the TA for xDAI?
Mhm. Yeah, I'll let Bill handle the TA. I'll just go macro on it real quick. I think there's a lot of people who are trying to revolutionize the stablecoin space. One that comes to mind for me was Empty Set Protocol, which had a big moon up to about 100 million market cap, just to kind of show you the potential of some of these stable coins. A lot of people in the rebate space are trying to do it with low success rate at the moment. Ample, of course, still leading that charge on the at least the stable dollar peg. But people are really trying to figure it out. I'm semi-wrecked at the moment, but and I'm a long-term holder right now of this dollar protocol as well, which has like a share token for a one-to-one rebase between themselves. So all these different approaches in terms of creating an actual stable coin that's decentralized are extremely exciting. So xDAI is really seems to be capitalizing on that network. But we'll kick it over to Bill out in the key for the TA.
All right, Bill, you're on mute.
All right, so checking my symbol here. Make sure I got the right one.
Yep, xDAI.
This looks like the DeFi index. Okay, you had the 76% retracement level of the whole trend up. Okay, and then that was right here. Okay, and then you see all these like bright red candles right here, where everyone just gave up right into a point where a horizontal support point, which is where the whole move started from. So it's kind of like the great reset.
I mean, that's incredible. That's like the whole month of just red, right?
Well, it's a 4-hour chart, right?
Okay, 4-hour chart. Okay,
so
okay,
October was a whole month of red for DeFi.
Right. So I mean, this is what people giving up looks like. It's kind of your classic. It's like something out of a book.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Right, where that's what a 5-wave or final leg of anything looks like. It's just straight that way. All the stops get run. I mean, the pain here is unbelievable, right? Like here's the big fib number where honestly, I probably would have told people support was they buy here and then they sell here and then it goes up.
Yeah,
that's just how bear markets work.
If all the TAs coming together, we're ready for this niche altcoin rally that's about to happen, Bill. All the charts are looking the same. You know what it is.
It's all the same. And the whole idea, again, in the bullish Bitcoin crowd, is that Bitcoin's going up no matter what happens with the election. And I don't necessarily disagree. But again, nobody is saying, shitcoins forever with the macro environment the way it is. And I think you can actually adopt that attitude and start buying, right, in the DeFi space. In the small alt space, right?
Yeah. Okay. Now let's actually combine this with a different question: Matic versus xDAI. So maybe Bill or Matic, feel free to pull up Matic as well. I mean, Matic. First of all, disclosure: I do own Matic. I'm staking Matic. Long-term believer in Matic. But I mean, xDAI is definitely competing with them. But based on, because with our private group, we had the COO Sandeep basically do a presentation on Matic to our professional customers. And we're actually pretty impressed with what's happening in DeFi on Matic. And if I had to choose between one, I would still choose for Matic. Obviously, that's why I'm investing in it. xDAI, my understanding is this is the same team that came from POA, from Ethereum a while back. This was basically a fork of Ethereum that's using proof of authority, right? So it's not really, at least my understanding of it, based on what Sandeep was saying, is it's not really competing with Matic, right? Because to them, they don't believe the competition just based on how they have a totally different consensus algorithm.
I was confused on the comparison because Matic's a layer 2 solution that's driving to lower gas costs, and the other one seems like some sort of like DAI complement, right? But maybe there's some more to it. I'm not exactly familiar with xDAI.
They're kind of doing lots of different things. They do have, I believe, their own pegged stablecoin, but they also do help with scaling. But their scaling has limitations. I think that obviously this is way too technical for me to kind of get into, and I'll just defer to our code review team that's done the actual code review. But I do encourage our customers to go to the platform and see all their analysis. But my understanding is that they don't think they're competing at all, even though people like to put them in the same category. But if you get to the Matic team, don't say, if people think they're competing with them, they aren't doing their job, right? Because, well, as I mentioned before, they have a totally different consensus algorithm, and Matic, I'm sorry, xDAI is following POA, proof of authority, or basically is kind of centralized in a way, right? And that's what helps you make
POA is so for someone who supported POA, it's a failed vision. It's essentially like 50 to 100 node validators that I believe were primarily in the US, but I think now are abroad, that are corporations, right? If that's correct. But you know, there's everyone's trying to give their different take on consensus, but I really feel like we've moved past that. Ethereum's the standard, so you know everyone's waiting for 2.0. Like there's these niche or whatever, but POA was so 2017. Obviously now they're pivoting. You know, Matic on the other hand is in the thick of it with the with the scalability of Ethereum, though there are alternatives that are better. But you know, full disclosure, our sister company to our accelerator is an early investor into Matic and a big holder. But I just see, you know, working with projects on a day-to-day basis, they are some of them are coming to us and saying we're launching on Matic. I'm not sure if that branding is taking effect like it would like with a chain link partnership or whatever, but it's definitely relevant. You know, Matic went on Binance, had huge returns. Granted, had a big dump at some point that everyone questioned, but it has now since bounced back to a degree. So it has that staying power, and they're definitely fostering projects to come to them and build on them, which is always a bullish technical indicator for me, or a macro indicator for me.
Some comments here from the audience. Okay, so xDAI is also layer 2 with bridges. Stake is a full scaling solution using optimistic rollups. xDAI Stake is getting a lot of traction with developers. They're both finalists in Reddit scaling competition. Actually, let me see if I can get what our code review team shared. Just give me 1 second here. I think that would definitely help out.
Yeah, I'll have to take a deeper dive into these guys.
Okay, so here's the Cliff Notes version. xDAI is both a stablecoin and a sidechain of Ethereum using a different consensus protocol called POS-DAO, proof of stake DAO, I believe. This sidechain, in addition to bringing new features such as on-chain randomness, okay, let me just skip this. The TPS offered by the chain currently sits low at 70 TPS compared to other solutions like Matic, which has around 7,000 TPS, but should be able to improve thanks to horizontal and vertical scaling if needed. Okay, anyway, back to you, Bill.
Okay, so with Matic, I can actually offer a couple perspectives because I actually did hear them present on one of our private group calls. You know, I'm looking at this, and this is another item where, you know, you have this bullish downward sloping wedge. It's the push the basketball underwater formation. Once you let go of the basketball, it not only comes to the surface of the water, but it comes all the way out, right? And that's what's happening in Matic. And Matic actually has a kicker on the chart formation in the sense that they did a false breakdown through the bottom. Well, what does that mean? Well, that means the bears took it through, Okay. But then the bulls counterattacked. And a lot of times when you take out the bottom line, you turn around and take out the top line, right? Hence this blue arrow. So there's a lot of things about Matic where they're flying under the radar. And there are catalysts coming up with this. So if you go through this list of what's in the rubble and say, hey, I want to do a 2-month trade, this might have to be on the list.
All right. Thank you, Bill. So tell us what you think down in the comments below.